We are os colegas da Francisca, and we will present our findings and conclusions on the impact of weather on a film's theoretical launch. We have multiple objectives, namely evaluating the possibility to correlate weather with the best sales values from Portugal, and attempts to correlate how weather impacts on the film's release. We use the Comscore database to track cinema ticket sales and to see if that could be linked to the weather data that we have from AccuWeather. We try to see the impact that temperature and precipitation will have on ticket sales through the week. But since the temperatures are linear, that information could be misleading. So we looked at precipitation more. And through that graph, we can see that it's obvious that precipitation has nothing to do with it. So we tried to look at the days of the week to see which had bigger ticket sales compared to the whole week, or if some weekends were lower. Valentine's Day was on a Thursday in 2019 and had a higher percentage on both films, but no other special days were as bad. Then we looked at 2 other days that were higher, and we tried to do a mean average, which would be 1/7 of 100%, which was 14%. And there were 2 Mondays that had a higher percentage, but we cannot associate that with the weather because one of the Mondays had worse weather and the other one had better. So with so little data, we can't really assume anything. Then, we went to measure the impact of the weather on a film's release, and we used Opus data sets and AccuWeather to study this correlation, both in the United Kingdom and in Portugal. The set consists of 172 films in the UK and 87 films in Portugal. All were released the 1st of January and the 1st of March 2019. You can see the process from our Portugal correlation, and the UK looks kind of similar. So what were the outcomes of our study? In Portugal, there seems to be a correlation between the weather aspects, especially the precipitation, and the success of a film's launch. So there was a kind of strong correlation between these two. In the UK, that didn't happen, as the correlation came close to 0. With these results, we hypothesized that different sun exposure and the culture of a sunny country can impact the way that the weather affects the people. Portugal has more sunny days than the UK, so that weather difference can be more impactful in Portugal. The next logical step was to try and predict a film's launch success. We did that with the same dataset, but cleaned it up so that films that would only be in the cinema for a week wouldn't count, as the impact of the releases is the impact of the film, and that's not what we wanted. We took into account the genre of the film and the production size as well, not only the weather, and our target was the opening percentage, the impact of the opening weekend's total revenue. We applied KNN to create a model, and we also tried deep learning and other methods, but this was the one we find most useful. We did it both for Portugal and the UK. Our conclusions were that we can predict more or less reliably the impact on the theoretical launch of a film. The impact of weather was noticeable, and that was a very good thing, because when removed, the model showed a worse performance. The major advantage of this is that, although we used minor data sets, this process can be easily used for measurements. In the future, we would like to do this to find more interesting results, by not just looking at January to March, which is very limited. Thank you.